Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Reza-Astrid and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about living alone and the things I learned while living alone. I've been living alone since 2014 when I started university. I really wanted to go to hostel or res, but I just wasn't accepted to anyone. My parents had to make a quick plan and I ended up at an apartment complex, a student accommodation. It was one room with an ensuite bathroom and there was like a kitchen island when you walked into the door, and on the when you walked in and there was like a kitchen island situation, like a kitchenette, and then you turn into the room and there was a desk area and then it was the bed and the bathroom. I absolutely loved that apartment and I spent 2 years there. I loved it. It was central. It was close to close to the university, and I just really enjoyed it. And after those 2 years I wanted a place closer to my faculty, the faculty of theology, which was like on the other side of campus, and every day I had to walk 15 minutes to class and 15 minutes home. And then my parents got an apartment that was literally perfect. It was a 2-minute walk from campus. The view was insane. It was so close to town and it was absolutely beautiful. And it was like a proper apartment because there was like the room was separate to the living room, that was separate to the kitchen, that was separate to the bathroom, and there was wooden floors, and it was stunning. And I honestly wanted to buy that apartment. I was like, this is the one, for life, but it wasn't for sale. And I'm pretty sure it would have been so expensive. But then after that, I moved to Somerset West from Stellenbosch, and here we are. This lockdown started in March. My brother has moved back home because his res is closed at the university. So for the last 5 months, I have not been living alone. I've been living with someone else. And so I think I'm ready to sit down and talk about what I've learned while living alone. So the number one thing that I learned was do things immediately. Do everything immediately. Make your bed, wash your dishes, take out the trash, fold your clothes, pack away your clothes, everything, do it immediately. Don't say, I'll get to it later. I'll pack away the clothes later. I don't need to do my bed now because I'll be back and I'm just going to go sleep anyways. Just do it, Reza. Just do it. Do it immediately. Firstly, it makes you feel like you've accomplished something in your day. And also, it's less things for you to do later on. A lot of times we try to trick ourselves with saying, I don't have to do it now because there'll be time later. What I've learned and keep learning is that sometimes there won't be time later. Sometimes the only time you have is right now. So just get it done, do it, and move on. Number 2 comes with a very funny story, but it is double check the microwave and oven at all times. Always check it. Double check, triple check it on a regular basis. Because one Saturday in my second year of studies, my cousin was visiting me at my apartment and we had just had lunch together. We had takeaways and we were chilling on the bed, and all of a sudden my aunt messaged me and said, hey Reza, we just made like extra food. Do you want some food? And I was like, yeah, please send it over. And so my uncle came and he dropped off the food. It was like a plate of food with rice and vegetables and chicken, if I remember correctly. And it was all wrapped up in like foil on a plate, and I was just super grateful, but we had already eaten. So I put it in my microwave and I told myself, I'll eat it later. But my cousin and I ended up leaving my apartment, going to her res, and I think I slept over at her res, and the next day I just forgot about it. And weeks went by, months went by, and nothing ever smelled off, nothing was weird. I just kept seeing now and then like white things fluttering around the room, but I was like, it's just dust, and I would clean my apartment and everything, but I wasn't someone who regularly ate and made food at my apartment. So I just never thought to look into my microwave or anything, and I know this is a very disgusting story. But eventually one day I was like super excited because I was like, I really want to make this dish, and it required me obviously to use the microwave. And I opened up the microwave and the microwave was infested with maggots and white things, and I can't even explain, because as soon as I opened it, I like slammed the clothes and I like ran out of the kitchen into the room. And I remember calling my friend and be like, what am I supposed to do? Help me. And she's like, girl, you just gotta figure it out. And so I had to clean it, and ever since then there was like a period of like a year or 2 years where I never used the microwave. I was like scared that I would forget something in the microwave. And now every other night I would double check in the microwave, is there anything in the microwave? I would check if there's something in the oven, just because I don't want that to happen to me again. So double check your microwave and your oven if you're as clueless as I am. It hasn't happened again. And now that embarrassing story is out on the internet to live forever. But if you live alone and you're a student, double check your microwave and your oven. Number 3 is you enjoy your own company. You start just enjoying being by yourself, solitude, that just silence of no one is around you. You come home from a really busy day. You come home from a day that you've either been frustrated, or nothing has gone right, or you've had a really good day but you've been around people the whole day, and you come home and there's no one. It's quiet, it's peaceful. You get to sit on your couch, you get to lounge, you can take a long bath. No one's gonna ask you for anything. No one's gonna say, when is supper? That's like my favorite thing about living alone, is coming home and knowing that it's just me on the walls, just me and my couch, just me in my bed. There's like no one to bother, no one to bother me, no one to ask me questions. I can just be by myself. Love it. Honestly, the best thing about living alone is being by yourself. Find joy in your space, and this is something that really requires you to love the space you're in, and what is my next tip is to decorate your space. In order to love your space, you have to really want to walk into it and just feel at home. You want to walk in and be like, I've been out in the world, but now I'm walking into my space. And when you find joy in your space, whether it's putting up a family photo or putting up a photo of a memory, or finding artwork that you really love, finding bedding that you really like, sleeping in, or candles or anything, but finding joy in your space, like when you get to walk into your house and you're like, oh, I love this room, oh, I love this space. Like, it's just such a beautiful feeling. And also when you decorate your space, you're making it your own. And that's what I really enjoy. When you live alone, you don't have to worry about, do they like this paint color? Do they like this mug? Do they like this table? It's your room, it's your house. You can do whatever you want. You can have weird and wacky paintings up, or paint the whole room a different color. Like, the world, your house is your oyster. Like, you can literally do anything and everything regarding decorating. And I really, really just love that freedom of decorating your space the way you want to decorate it. Another tip is to always double check that you've closed all your windows and locked your doors. That's just safety and peace of mind, to make sure that everything is sorted. So as soon as I walk in, I always lock my front door and my gate, just so I don't have to think about it later on. And I always double check that if I open up a window, that I close that window before I go to bed. It's just peace of mind, which is really important when you live alone. You want to feel safe in your space. Another thing is you will learn a lot about yourself, which is something that I mentioned a bit earlier. But you really learn who you are and who you're going to be growing up. I think a lot of times we say, oh, if I have more space, then I'll be this type of person. Or if I only had one room and one bathroom, I wouldn't be so messy. Or, we make up these scenarios in our head that if we had a garden, then everything would be better. Or if we had a balcony, then everything would be better. But you really learn a lot about yourself in each space. Like, you learn, okay, if I had one bedroom, one bathroom, one kitchen, I still need to take responsibility for everything in this room. I still need to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. And what I learned is, like, you could be lonely in a small room and you could be lonely in a big apartment house. You could be happy in a small space and also be really happy in a big space. You could you know, make memories in a small space and a big space. Like, you don't need to have the garden and the big house and everything to feel happy. You can be happy when you're still getting to that space where you have it, or the spaces you've envisioned in your mind. So you really get to learn a lot about yourself. I learned a lot about myself in a sense that I know that I don't like cleaning, but that I love ironing. Like, give me iron board and iron any day and I'll iron your clothes the whole day, but do not ask me to clean my house. Like, it's just, I'm not good at it. I don't enjoy it. Also, I love washing the dishes, but I don't like packing away the dishes. I love washing clothes, but I don't like folding and packing away clothes. But I'm also learning that I have to enjoy or find joy in those things that I don't enjoy, because when you live alone, you're the only one that is able to do those chores for you. So you're the only one who can, you know, pack away the clothes or fold the clothes. Otherwise, you're just, your clothes are just gonna lay there. So you're the one who's responsible. You're the one that needs to make sure that everything's sorted. Another thing just with that is that if you don't enjoy something now, you won't automatically enjoy it later. I think this is, in many senses, we think that, you know, if I have a bigger kitchen, I will love cooking and I'll cook more. But if you don't like cooking in your small kitchen, there's like 90% chance you're not going to magically enjoy cooking in your bigger kitchen. It's just going to be more problems. If you don't like, you know, if you don't like making your bed in your smaller space, you're probably not going to automatically make your bed every single day in your bigger room. These are all things that we need to learn as we go. We don't just magically, now we have a bigger space, bigger house, now that we're living with people, whatever the case may be, now we like it. So I've learned that if I want to be a mom that, you know, enjoys a nice clean space. I want to be someone that invites people over and they come and they sit and they have a good time, and I'm not stressing like, oh my goodness, did I vacuum today, you know? And so in order for me to be that person who I want to be in the far future, or even tomorrow if it wasn't lockdown, I need to actually do those things today. So I need to vacuum frequently. I need to enjoy cooking and enjoy making my place feel homely and fix my kitchen curtains instead of just looking at it every day and ignoring it. Yes, family, I'm still learning. Just to reiterate two of the things I've already mentioned, but I just want to say it again as tip number 9 and number 10, is that there's a great sense of freedom and silence that comes when you live alone. Freedom to come and go, freedom to do whatever you want. I know a lot of people would walk naked in their houses, or, you know, you can take a long shower or a long bath. No one's going to be like, when are you going to stop showering? You could really do anything you want. There's a sense of freedom from living alone that you don't get when you like go back to your parents. But there's also a great sense of responsibility. So with freedom comes that responsibility, because if anything goes wrong, if you forget something in the microwave, if something breaks, it's up to you to fix it. It's up to you to notice it. It's up to you to do something about it. No one else is going to say, hey, Reza, the fridge is broken. You need to notice the fridge is broken. You need to find someone to fix the fridge. And that's like the one thing about living alone, is that there's no one else there to see things that you might not see. So you need to, I also notice, like, since I've lived alone for so long, if I hear something that's out of the ordinary, if I smell something that's out of the ordinary, like, my senses are so heightened because I live alone. It's up to me to notice everything, to see everything, to hear everything, to smell everything, to literally be able to know if something's missing or if something's gone wrong. I'm the only one who can see these things if it happens. So I need to be up it. I need to be on top of everything. And with that is this huge responsibility of your freedom. But I also want to touch on that huge silence factor. Living alone, a lot of people can see that silence as deafening. A lot of people can see it as lonely. A lot of people can see it as scary. I've never seen it that way. I've genuinely loved living alone. I think there's maybe been like once or twice where there was like a couple of weeks, a couple of months where I was like, I live alone. No one's coming to visit me. But I think also because my life and my work keeps me really busy, I'm not at home all the time, except for now recently with working from home. Not a lot of people get to experience living alone because it is a privilege. It's a really big privilege. But it's something that's so rewarding, like that silence of just you and your thoughts, and you being able to get everything that you need to get done, you being able to just sit there and think about your own life, about the decisions you made. I don't know. And the thing is also, when you're living alone and you have that great sense of silence and being by yourself, it's so rewarding, the things that you discover about yourself, and the things you discover not only between what happens and what goes on in your house, but you start wondering about things you said in conversations or things that made you laugh. And I still sometimes I laugh at myself when I catch myself laughing at something and I know there's no one to share it with. I'm like, ha ha ha. So it's like I'm laughing at myself, so I don't feel like I'm alone in that sense. But I don't know, I think I've always been someone who's advocated for, if you can live alone, whether it's for a year, whether it's for years, whether it's just for a couple of months. I just think you learn so much about yourself that you wouldn't necessarily learn if you lived on Rez or if you lived with your family all your life. There's this particular sense of adulthood, adulting that has to occur when you live alone. And I think you grow so quickly. Like, you just have to, like, every day, every decision, every move you make, you just grow and grow and grow. And I think that's just so cool about living alone. So have you ever lived alone? What are your tips about living alone? Please leave some comments down below. I love hearing what you have to say and learning more about you. But I hope these tips and just my experience have helped you and maybe made it clearer for you. And if there's anyone that you know who is moving out or is going to live alone for a couple of months, send them this video. Maybe it'll help them. Who knows? But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.